Your business exists because you had the idea to start it. Everything begins in our minds. That's why your business results cannot outgrow your current level of thinking. Do you want to serve more clients, make more money, without working more or burning yourself out? Grow yourself first as a leader of your business, because that's who you are, a leader, even if you're the only person in your business right now. When you lead yourself first, the business results will always follow. My name is Maggie Brunson. I'm an international business and leadership coach, an expert in business mindset, strategy, and high performance. I created the Diamond Effect podcast to help you elevate your thinking, expand your perspective, and through it, grow your business without overwhelm. So let's get started. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Diamond Effect podcast. And I'm so excited because it's a very special episode. First of all, we're filming it in a professional studio, not in my office, at home. It's Whim Media Studios in Oshawa. And I have an amazing special guest with me, Alex. Welcome, welcome. And before we go into the interview, if Alex, you could introduce yourself to everybody.
Firstly, thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be interviewed on your show. I'm Alex. I'm the owner and founder of Whim Media Studios, a studio here in Oshawa. And yeah, I'm really excited to have him. I'm also the owner of Hustle Over Everything, an entrepreneurship podcast focused on sharing stories, tips, and culture in the entrepreneurship and culture space.
I love it. I love it. And we'll talk all about it in the podcast. So the first question I have for you that I really always love to find out when I talk to entrepreneurs is, what's the story behind your business? How did you come up with the idea? What kind of led you to your businesses?
Yeah. When it comes to this company, it's honestly just a matter of staying on the path. When I was in, I think, college, I was interviewing people and staying on the path of entrepreneurship and the podcast. I just went from interviewing people to having my own blog to creating my own podcast, and then through the podcast having the studio come out of it, and it literally just blossomed one thing to another, like one step at a time. It wasn't a immediate thing of, I should launch a studio. Yeah. It was literally just an opportunity that presented itself, and I said, you know what, let's run with it.
So I'm curious because I look at my daughter who's 13 and she's super entrepreneurial. And I think she's got it, not just by looking at me, because I wasn't always an entrepreneur. And she was like that even when she was 6, trying to sell shells to her neighbors to make money. And, I was a corporate leader at the time. So do you think you had a little bit of that as you were a child? Did you do like little side businesses before? I would love to know.
100%. It's funny you say that. That brought me right back to when I was a kid. So what I used to notice is that my aunts used to be stressed out and their shoulders would be up. And I always loved massages. So I would sell massages to my aunties.
That's the best. And they paid you for it?
And they paid me for it. They gave me a little toonie. So when the Toonie Tuesday came around, I was ready. I had the toonies on deck from all of my little massages. So when my aunt was in her car, so I would always be sitting in the back. So my aunt would come and sit in the front, and I'd be like, "Auntie, you want a massage?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, it's okay." And then I'll give her a little massage through the back of the car. I was like, "All right, well, that will be $2." And she's like, "Oh." Okay, I guess I gotta pay. And from then on, I started getting my little toonies up and went to Max and had a ball.
That's awesome.
Sour keys on me.
Yep. Yeah, sour keys. That's what, now she reinvests. She has like a little, my daughter has a little nail business now.
Oh.
So she's doing nails. Tried it not that long ago, and she has so many orders. She's so good. Like I literally want to learn from her how to do TikTok.
Wow. So she's selling on TikTok now?
Yep.
Wow, that's
3 months,
amazing.
1,200 followers.
1,200 followers.
A 13-year-old.
Wow.
Me, not so good.
Listen, she should teach both of us, honestly. Yeah. Wow.
So another question that I have, and I think that's important to know when you're an entrepreneur, why do you do what you do?
Man, it really testifies to my why. I actually came from the marketing space, and I was working with different media companies running Facebook ads and things of that nature, and I actually got quite good at it. So I was working with like corporate execs doing Facebook ads, and some of those companies that I worked with got acquired. But all I was doing was looking at spreadsheets all day, and it wasn't entertaining. It wasn't gratifying. There was no purpose in it. It just felt like I was just giving people money and going about my day. So as well to that, it didn't feel like I was valued as a human. It was really just your inputs and outputs. If you make money for me, you're here, and if you don't, you're fired. And I really disliked that. I really disliked how flimsy my value was based off of how Facebook ads and marketing was performing. And I really disliked that. And I'm like, all right, how can I create something for myself, for one, that I can give value to other people? And two, I love the actual service of it. Like I get to hear people give their real stories. I get to hear health stories and little ups and downs that go with people's individual stories. So that really means a lot to me. And honestly, I think it rewards my inner child. So like I said, I'm my only child, and I never used to be around people. So I'm used to being in solitude. So having a podcast studio allows me to hear other people's stories and allows me to get entertained just naturally. So yeah, it entertains my inner child and gives me purpose.
I love it. And I definitely relate to the purpose, because when I was in a corporate world, and at some point I did burn out, and that happened when I stopped seeing my purpose. And it was just me, working hard, taking away the time from my kids, which were little at that time, and for big institutions or corporations to make more money, and they still weren't happy. And they were still kind of beating us up for, that's not enough. You're not good enough, not good enough. And I was like, no, like, this is ridiculous, right? I want to see the impact of my skills and my knowledge on people like yourself and entrepreneurs, where you can see actually somebody growing. You can see how their life is changing and so on. So I definitely resonate with, seeing the purpose of having the purpose and then seeing the result of what you do beyond the spreadsheet.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And a lot of times we're in these corporations giving so much value, and there's nothing that really feels like it's giving back to you, I remember I was just watching a TikTok of a girl say she was working at a company for 14 years. And I think it was at Amazon that she was working at. And Amazon had those massive layoffs. I think it was like 40,000 people. And then she just got let go at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
That's just like that, and something like that is crazy to think about. After 14 years, you just get let go, and it's just, that's it. Yeah, no, I don't want that for myself. And I've been in a situation where you're working for a company day in and day out, and you're not really valued. So yeah, that's kind of what kind of led me down here.
Yeah, and that's great, because through entrepreneurship, that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. You can actually build something of your own, right? You can build assets, you can build legacy. I'm not saying it's easy, but
it's not.
But there's definitely that potential, which you don't get 100%. Usually.
And honestly, there's nothing wrong with having a job either, though. Like, I don't want to talk like I'm like pitying a job. Like, I definitely feel like, especially in this economy, like jobs are so necessary, and I'm hearing stats that like a lot of people are being laid off, especially with like the invention of AI. Like, there's a lot of people that are losing their jobs too. So I just don't want to say I'm not also trying to like, pity jobs. So
No, I get it. First of all, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Second of all, as businesses grow, they need employees, right? Like even our businesses, as they grow, at some point, will need employees, right?
For sure.
And so that's fine. And I agree. Like, I am grateful for the career ahead, because it allowed me to learn a lot of skills.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad all the time. There was just a moment that got me rethink what I want to do going forward. That's it. Yeah. Okay, so next question for you. So how we met was through an entrepreneurial mentorship program. I love coaching, of course. This is what I do, but I also love mentoring and sort of giving back as much as I can. And through one of those programs, that's how we met. So I would love to ask you, how mentorship is helping you as an entrepreneur.
Man, I think it's almost like therapy for your business, because no one's really as impartial, because there's people that are part of the team, there's people that are your family and friends. You don't really get to speak to people that are completely impartial to the business. So speaking to you and speaking to people that are literally outside of the circle, it kind of gives an ability to get an outside perspective of how the business functions, explaining it, seeing where there's holes or ways to elevate. That's been very helpful for me personally. And seeing where there's a lot of holes. That's been the big one. Like, oh, are you doing that with your taxes? Are you doing this with this? Are you doing that with that? That's been very helpful for sure. Yeah. So I think that's been like the biggest win from it. As well, there's been like systems and softwares that they give you to work through. So that's been helpful as well.
Yeah, that's great. And definitely I really believe we all have blind spots, right? The way we see the world. And in business, having those blind spots can actually hurt you, right? It can cost you a lot of money and effort.
Sure. Yeah.
So having that uncovered and fix it when it's not a big deal, rather than wait till it becomes a big problem. Yeah. It's always beneficial.
Yeah. All right. So that's a great thing. I'll ask you, if you don't mind, a quick detour. How do you know when to detour to solve the problem versus saying, let's put it off till later?
The problem?
Yeah. Like, do you have a framework for like...
To quickly tell you, you need to think about, okay, what are the consequences if I don't solve it now? Right? If the consequences are really bad and immediate, you should probably solve it now. Yeah. If, let's say, there is a problem, but you're super busy, and if you pull the root cause, the fixing the root cause would take a lot of investment and time and so on, and you have a Band-Aid solution, you can sometimes, it makes sense to, okay, let's do the Band-Aid solution. So we go through the situation, but you have to come back and fix the root issue. And I've been in corporations where that never happened, where we're just like Band-Aid solutions, but at some point it comes and bites you in the butt really big. So of course, ideal situation, find out the root cause and fix it as soon as you can. But it's not always doable in real life. So sometimes, okay, put the Band-Aid solution so you can finish whatever you're doing. You can keep going, but go back to it. And that's why I always talk about, CEO time and time for strategy and time to look back and say, okay, what are the things that are important? They're never urgent, that are important, that will help me grow my business, right? Because that Band-Aid solution, as the business keeps growing, it will blow, right? So I need certain foundations I need to fix. So that's the thing about balancing the short-term needs of the business to long-term needs of the business. So there's no, I can't say there's one perfect answer.
Yeah. It's really like a fine dance to find.
It is.
Yeah. That's an interesting answer. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Welcome. Okay, so let's talk about your podcast, because you have a great podcast.
Thank you.
You have a lot of followers, right?
You.
So tell me a little bit about it. So what did you do? How did you get the idea for it? And then I'll ask you some podcasting questions, because I think you're an expert.
I appreciate that. So Hustle Over Everything, my podcast, came up out of just the overall need for business solutions. So it's really started in Ryerson University, in the SLC. We were literally thinking of what solutions need to be available for entrepreneurs, especially like young Black entrepreneurs. There was nothing. And we started creating a month before the pandemic. And literally the pandemic came across. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're doing it from home. and went through the pandemic interviewing entrepreneurs and started getting an audience. And through that, we ended up charting as top 20 business podcasts in Canada.
Awesome.
We had one breakthrough moment with David Mullings. Big shout out to David Mullings from Blue Mahole Capital. He liked one of our posts. So we created a post on Jamaica becoming the Singapore of the Caribbean. Because Singapore, I think, jumped ahead by generations in terms of their country's GDP and production because of their natural resources. So he had a clip on Jamaica doing the same thing because they have one of the deepest ports in the world. And we reposted that, and that did numbers, and that ended up with him coming on the show.
Awesome.
Yeah, and once that happened, Jamaica loved the episode. We became #1 business podcast in Jamaica for that moment. And that really helped us blossom. And he then connected us with somebody named Brunson, who now has one of the biggest podcasts in Europe, signed to Diary of a CEO, and he's great. Big shout out to Brunson as well. And he broke down working with 2 billionaires, working with Oprah and working with Enver Yücel. And that really broke the mold for the podcast. And honestly, to this day, he has one of the best stories of his journey from zero to Oprah. And yeah, I highly suggest anybody listen to the episode.
That's
Great
amazing.
episode.
I will. I definitely will listen.
Yeah. So that was like the journey of like from zero to building up the show. And from then on, we're like, wow, we have something, and started to keep continuously going. And from then on, we started working with different platforms. And yeah, that's what kind of led us to the podcast studio. And yeah, so it's been a wild ride for sure. But honestly, it's been great. So right now, I'm actually working on a podathon, which is releasing a podcast every single day for a month, which is
ambitious.
Yeah, it's ambitious. It's
Great.
challenging.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that go right, a lot of things that go wrong. But yeah, we're building on top of it. So yeah,
love it. So 2 questions about podcasts. So if somebody is just starting and they would love to have a podcast, what are some key considerations that they should think about?
Okay. The key considerations I think about is who your viewer is and the journey you're going to take them throughout the episode. There's 2 kind of formats of a podcast: is how the listener is enjoying the podcast and the overall guiding force through the podcast. You're like the roller coaster. So you can't just focus on enjoying it. You have to focus on the structure that the journey each person is going through from one stage to the other. So whether you have segments, different formats, all those elements make a cohesive podcast. So considering that, I think, is the most crucial part of a podcast. So yeah, I think working on different segments to make sure that journey is great and not just starting and talking, you know? And with the roller coaster, they're usually based in something. This one is the drop. This one is the highest roller coaster. That's like the drop zone, or there's different elements to it, right? So I'd say make sure your niche makes sense. Speak authentically from it so you can really have a base that people believe in. That really is relevant for a good podcast. So ours is on business and entrepreneurship and culture. So that's our base. But hey, maybe yours is in knitting. Maybe yours is in sports or parenting. Make sure you're rooted in that so people are coming back for the same thing consistently.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now, follow-up question. For somebody like me who's had a podcast for a while, but, it's, I don't think I'm at the next level and I would like to take it to the next level. Okay. What should be my consideration?
Honestly, I'd say, well, firstly, do you have the capacity for video? Do you feel like you have the capacity for video?
Maybe.
All right. So what I would say, there's levels to it. Before going the full studio, I'd say go virtual video. Use a platform like Riverside and interview your guests virtually. Have a good desk set up so you can level up with a 4K webcam and a good lighting in the background. That's like an easy way to set up. And I'd say hire an editor. those two things can monumentally change your channel. And an editor that's good with a platform like Riverside, they can create clips for you for socials, so you can consistently have content going out. So I would say those are two ways to level up your content. First, go video. Secondly, go video like first, being on YouTube. YouTube is the easiest way to grow your podcast right now. I'd highly suggest that. Next, I'd say try to develop relationships with the editors at the podcast platform. So Spotify, Apple, there's editors who are in charge of the algorithms there. So you can reach out to them and say, hey, I'm this person doing this. Would you like me to send some of my content to you to see if you can put it on some relevant channels? Because there's editors, playlists, and things like that for podcasts. So those are ways to get on bigger radars. So yeah, I would say that. Lastly, people promote in platforms. So for example, you can promote your podcast in Spotify. You can promote it on secondary channels like Podmatch, and there's a few platforms like Pocket Cast, for example. So you can literally advertise your podcast within those channels to grow your audio side. You know, so those are some ways to grow your podcast, just on the audio side and on the video side.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. I've learned something. So one last question.
What's up?
What is your vision?
Yes.
Where are you going? What is your big vision?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think there's two main things. One is expanding the studio. There's been a huge demand for podcasts. So right now we're in Oshawa. I think there's a huge demand in Toronto. So I think expanding to Toronto is a interesting thing to pursue. That's one big one. Next, I think, is the overall education side. As you've seen with the space here, there's an opportunity to have workshops and things here. So we want to do more of that. We actually have our first workshop coming up on November 30th. We're having one on public speaking and storytelling. We actually are working with a guy named Clem Dwyer. He is one of the champions in national speaking. He's won the Toastmasters Award. So he's going to be there speaking, and I think that's a perfect opportunity to learn about podcasting. I'll be speaking on podcasting. And we also have someone on community building. Her name is Shirley Joseph. She's a whiz when it comes to building community. So literally you can come and learn about podcasting, community building, storytelling, and public speaking, all in one shot. So yeah, I think it's an amazing opportunity. So yeah, things like that I think is something that I want to expand into, as well as, like I said, operating in different regions. So yeah.
Love it. So how people find you? How do they connect with
you? You can find me at 247 Hustler on Instagram. YouTube, you can search Alex Whitfield and Hustle where everything comes right up. So the two places you can find me.
Yeah, and we'll link that in the show notes. So you'll give it all to me and we'll link it up. But thank you so much for doing it with me.
Honestly, thanks so much for coming. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so pleased to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening today. If this podcast resonated with you, please come back. Also, you can leave a review on whatever platform you're listening. And if you have a suggestion, question, or a topic you would like me to talk about, let's get in touch via email. Email me at Maggie@stairwaytoleadership.com. See you in the next episode.